If everybody is the same in the paper, why an interview? People want to see something that is not in paper?
Full stack developer roles both in Canada and the United States. 52,000 jobs at this very moment.
They are changing the job market landscape, securing high-paying jobs for tech professionals. German Blanco and Brian Golod.
Our method works because they cannot compare us to anybody else.
What we teach make you stand out from the crowd. Storytelling in the best format.
We work with professionals to find better careers.
We help professionals in tech
In the USA and Canada, earning $150,000 and above
to switch jobs.
with the job conditions that they want.
The thing that you want to do is to switch the roles. Companies are going to be the candidates for the job seekers.
Help me really understand you.
People have believed the exact same thing for so long, they believe that that's the only option.
People talk that the job search is broken. No, it's not broken. The thing is you don't understand the rules.
The challenge that people have is that they don't know how to navigate an interview. It's your interview. You interview them. Don't let them interview you.
Welcome, Brian and Herman, to the Golden Mic.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Great.
Hold
Yeah,
that
to
microphone
be
up.
here is fantastic.
Where are we at right now? We're at Inner Circle.
Cancun, Mexico.
Cancun. Unlock the Secrets Mastermind. Guys, welcome back to the show. I'm joined here by Brian and Herman. Give us a little context. So actually, let me set you guys up first for a little bit. You guys came to me at 2 Inner Circles ago. I think it was 2 Inner Circles ago is when I met you. And then you're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm dumb. And then you came and, you ended up becoming clients and you guys crushed it. Like crushed it. Like these guys are legit, what they do. So, thank you so much for coming on. Really a pleasure to have you guys on. I'm looking forward to kind of just jamming out and get to know you guys a little bit more. This is the first episode I've done with 2 people, I think, in person. So this will be fun. So introduce yourselves.
Well, we basically help professionals in tech to switch jobs. And we are doing this for the last 6 years. So when we met Josh, that was an opportunity for us to learn more about him. We was looking for basically grow. And we know that Josh was an authority in podcasts. And we reach out and we have a fantastic, great results with Josh. Thank you, Josh, for everything.
Of course, yeah.
That was a great. And yeah, we are doing this for 6 years. My name is German Blanco. And we are in Canada, based on Canada.
We're in Canada. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
You want to know something that you don't know?
I would love to know something I don't know.
This guy didn't like me when he first met me.
Really?
And now we are brothers and business
Bro,
partners.
you're like me.
and
We're not very likable when we first meet people, right? Like I told someone I got caught in Cancun security, right? Or whatever, the customs or whatever. And the guy looked at me and he goes, I mean, look at you though, bro. And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? He's like, you're an easy target. I'm like, I feel like, we're easy targets, bro.
we were in a toxic place. So I met him in corporate.
Oh, okay.
And I was his product owner leading a software development team. And I was coming all with my energy and positivity and everything. And he was in a toxic environment for 6 years.
Mm.
And he's like, what is this guy trying to sell me?
Mm.
Not trying to sell him anything. But then shortly after, within a week, showed him that I sincerely cared.
Yeah.
And then he told me the story later. He was like, I didn't actually like you.
Yeah.
Totally. That's true. That's true.
That's awesome. Okay. So give us a little background, on you guys. Like maybe start with you and then fill in any of the gaps. But in 30 seconds, you help professionals, you work with professionals to find better careers, right?
Senior tech professionals in the USA and Canada who are earning $150,000 and above, switch jobs with the job conditions that they want, and find the compensation, the remote work, whatever it is that they're looking for, find it in 30 days or less.
30 days or less. Okay. So like that's a very specific avatar. That's a very specific type of person, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, it's a very specific, like it's niche, a timeline and everything like that. And so that's a big, bold promise, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, so how, give us some context around that. Cause I know you're both immigrants, right? You're from Canada, into Canada.
Yes, correct.
So get some context into that. Cause I'm always fascinated by the purpose of the Golden Mic is to create a place where the conversation happens, right? And to learn, to grow, to have a platform on things. And it's like hearing different perspectives. I mean, I am a 6 foot tall white male born in the USA, right? Like my perception of the world is so skewed in one minute, area of life. And don't get me wrong. I love that. I unashamedly that's great. But I think that for me, one of the things that has broadened my perspective, and maybe had me how to greater appreciation for humans is hearing people stories from completely different perspectives, right? And while, oftentimes I don't necessarily want someone else's life, right? I mean, I hear their story and I'm like, that's great, right? It gives me a deeper appreciation for how someone got to where they're at, helps me understand them more. And like, I can learn so much from that. I think a lot of people are in that same boat, right? So for you guys, give me some context on how you got to that, right? Like doing this thing and kind of the backstory that led up to that.
So I was working and traveling a lot. The backstory is that I wanted to find the job conditions that I wanted for my family. I wanted to be able to spend time with my loved ones. I had a young daughter at the time. Now I have 2 children. And I wanted to learn how can I actually take control of my career, because every now and then I was finding myself stuck in that job. And I was like, oh, it's so tedious to be able to switch from one job to another again. So like we all hate the process. Mm-hmm. And then I found
and how old were you at this time?
This was 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Okay.
So let's say 34.
34. Okay. You're 40 now?
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. You're good for 40, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
57.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I am 57.
That's wild. All right. Well, you look good for 57, bro. Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
Well done. And you said you had a family?
Yeah.
How many kids you got?
2.
2 kids? Wife and 2 kids?
4 boys.
4 boys.
32,
Okay.
28, 15, and 14.
Wow. Okay. So there's a gap there.
It's a gap, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So this is 6 years ago. You're in a job you hate.
Yeah. Yeah. I was traveling a lot from Toronto to Texas, Dallas, Texas. And I just wanted to take control of my career, and I wanted to be able to provide a better future for my family. I really wanted to live more comfortably. And I went on LinkedIn searching for answers on how to take control of my career, how to be able to get the job that I really wanted.
Yeah.
And I found that there were a ton of people who were actually struggling with the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who were struggling to actually convert interviews into job offers. That was for me the first door that opened. I was like, it's not difficult to turn interviews into job offers. Like I've always done it. Whenever I actually do interview, I get a job offer immediately.
Oh, okay. So specifically the problem that you realized that other people were having were a lot of them were getting interviews, right? But they were not actually getting a job offer from the interview.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
And so I started to share my experience with others, and they were able to start to convert interviews literally at their very next interview every single time.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, oh my God, I'm changing people's lives. People who have been job searching for so long and struggling and being frustrated and doubting themselves and so on, literally through talking to them for minutes, sometimes hours.
Yeah.
But talking to them, I was able to change and get them what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And I got super addicted to this feeling of changing people's lives.
Yeah.
And my wife wanted me to stop. There's always a villain, right? In every story.
I don't know about that.
No?
maybe so. My wife's pretty awesome. I mean, my wife is definitely not the villain in my story. My wife saved my life. I truly believe that.
No. She saved my life too.
Okay, good.
But she was like, I want you to stop. I realized at that moment that I couldn't stop. I love doing this. I was like, no, this is a non-negotiable.
Okay.
I was like, I want to understand more. Like, what's bothering you? And she's like, every single time that you tell me that you're going to mentor someone for 15 minutes on the phone, 2 hours later, you're still mentoring them. I want to go for a walk before you're done. It's already dark.
Yeah.
You told me that you're going to go to Starbucks for 2 hours to mentor someone. 6 hours later, you're being kicked out of Starbucks because they're closing down the store. I was like, I can't stop doing this. It's like, well, then I want you to take it seriously. Value yourself. I was like, I value myself. She's like, no, charge for this. It's like, well, if that's going to make you happy, sure, I'll charge for it. And then it took me 2 years to take that leap of faith. Shortly after the pandemic began, took that leap of faith. And I was like, I shut my laptop and I was like, I'm never working for anyone else. I'm going to follow my purpose, my passion, and I'm going to change people's lives.
Interesting. Okay. So that was 6 years ago. And then 2 years later is when you were like, I'm all in on this.
And this guy,
I was going to say,
Hold on.
Story,
Hold on. I'm coming to the story.
You come into the story.
Yeah. So basically when, after we met in the corporate and Brian told me what he was doing, that basically helping professionals to convert interviews into job offers.
And sorry, real quick, like, were you guys at the same company in corporate?
Yeah. Same company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is in Canada.
Same team. We work in the same team.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Very close.
full stack developer, and I was his product owner leading the
Got it.
The group, leading the group. We was a group of developers, and we started talking because he's from Argentina. I'm from Colombia originally.
Yeah.
So that is something in common. And the thing that made me not hate him was to to realize that he actually paying attention to my stories. So he asked me like,
you said you were from Colombia?
yeah, I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. And
Yeah.
where are you from?
Argentina.
Argentina, Colombia. Okay.
So I noticed that he can speak Spanish. Obviously, me too. And we start talking, and he asked me about my life. And I thought at that moment, that was a small talk that you have with coworkers in the cafeteria. And he asked me for my family. I said, yeah, I have my kids play soccer. Actually, next week, we're going to a tournament in Ottawa. And 1 week passed, and the next week he asked me, how was the tournament with Lucas? How was and I, at that moment I realized, oh, this guy is paying attention. So we start our relationship in corporate, but by the time the pandemic hit and he moved, he already was doing his mentorship.
Yeah.
But he told me about what is his goal. He said, I can mentor professionals to get interviews, but I can mentor professionals to convert the interviews into job offers, but I cannot, make the professionals to find
the interviews. Yeah.
Interviews.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's when I came to in place, and he said, actually, this is the words I said to him. He said, actually what you're telling me, is basically you need to do something that like Uber did with the taxis. Like 6 years ago, not, I guess probably 10 years ago, we go out fighting for a taxi.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the taxi, exactly. And exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened in the job search market. They are fighting for one opportunity. And they say, what you want to do is what Uber did with the industry of the taxis. They basically, they make the people to find a bigger offer, right? Using technology,
Yep.
and then become the job seekers in his case to buyers instead to be just,
interesting.
That was the idea.
So basically taking it and saying, okay, instead of you being desperate for a job, right?
Yes.
Basically, hey, you're now going to sell yourself essentially in an ethical way, right?
Yeah.
And present yourself as a value, right? As a value proposition and say, hey, instead of me chasing down the employers, I'm going to go to multiple employers. I'm going to basically have them competing over me.
Correct.
And us competing over them.
That was
Just like Uber did with taxis and overtaking them.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. That was my comment. He said, you should, in other words, the thing that you want to do is to switch the roles in the job market, right? Now you want to become, the job seekers are going to become, the buyers. So they are going to be chasing for the companies are going to be the candidates for the job seekers.
Okay. So many things to unpack here because this is
Yes.
so good. Okay. So I want to back up and the thing that you said about him taking you seriously, right? And listen to your stories, which compliments to you, right? I mean, genuine, right? And I mean,
Correct.
First time I met you, right? I was like, I can tell you, just like, yeah, so real. So I think that's a very interesting point because I think that in a world of social media and online interactions where it's just like grab attention, like get people's attention and basically pitch, right? Or, do anything for a view, anything for a click, right? People can come across as very fake and ungenuine, right? And then you get the people that know how to say the right words. And the people that know how to say the right word, they're not genuine. They're not real, right? They just figured out like, oh, this works or whatever. And a lot of people get burned by that, right? Rightfully so. A lot of people's guards are up. And so from your side of things, did you do that to everyone? Like, are you just genuinely curious in anyone's life? Or was it something about him specifically that made you like take more of an interest in him or how did like your side of the story? What did that look like?
No, my personality is I just love people and I love paying attention. If I'm talking to you, I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, I like to make people feel special. That's my thing.
Okay.
If you feel special, and I can tell that you're feeling special because I listened to you, because I really connected with your story, because I helped you communicate your feelings, that to me makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
So the more I make someone feel special, the more they will want to spend time with me. Like people want to feel special.
Yeah.
Right. So I figured, okay, I need to develop. I'll tell you there's something deeper. I've never been the best student ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
So I had to develop some other way of growing in life, I guess, and building myself up. I have to say that inherited this, I guess, in some way from my parents and my grandparents who taught me to be a decent human being.
Yep.
But I really focused a lot more in becoming an amazing human being as opposed to just being the best student.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting you say that too, cause like, so I had a lot of insecurities growing up. I was homeschooled in the middle of nowhere. I didn't have I knew people, but like I didn't have a lot of, I wasn't a cool kid. Right. And so to me, getting people's attention, the way that I got people's attention or the way that I felt like I could provide value to someone else's life was I was like, I'm not the cool kid. Right. Like, so being around me isn't cool. Some people are just like cool. They've got clout or they're, women, they're hot and people just want to be around them because they're hot or because they're cool. Right. I'm like, I don't have that. Right. So the way I do it, similarly to you, is I genuinely like listen to them in a way that no one else will, make them feel special. I can relate to that so much, but it's fascinating because like you said, you love people. Right. And I love figuring out people. Right. And it's interesting when you said like, I love people, it's like, I don't know if like people are so weird to me. Right. Like you ever feel like that? Like people and you're like, I don't know if I love everyone and just want everyone to get along or hate everyone. And I'm just like, we all suck. Right. Type of deal. And I'm like, Jesus loves everyone. So I do. But like, to me, did you feel misunderstood growing up?
No,
like people didn't understand you or no?
No.
Did you feel misunderstood?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like talking with myself.
Yeah.
Like, and trying to, in Spanish, I'm talking about, not in English, because in English, I know that it's difficult for me, but in Spanish, trying to tell or transfer an idea.
Yeah.
And sometimes my mind go faster than my mouth.
Yeah. Oh,
so it's like, oh my God, I cannot even communicate very well. So
yeah,
in Spanish. Yeah.
You know what happens to me now? Not when I was growing up, but now is that I have this constant feeling of I don't fit. Now it happens to me, which is like, I just don't like the current state of the world that we live in.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know that I'm doing my part. I cannot fix the entire world.
Yep.
But I do know that I have the power. This is my superpower to change someone's world.
Yeah.
Their life.
Yep.
So I'm doing anything and everything that I can. And when I'm not given that opportunity, it sucks because it's like, if you only knew how much it could do for you and your life and your family and your aspirations, your dreams, everything. I just love that. That is addicting.
Yeah. I agree. It's interesting. So going back to like your point with the, like making people feel special, right? So the way that, like with me, the way I related to people in a world where I felt very misunderstood was by understanding them, right? Cause I actually genuinely wanted to know what was going on in someone's mind. And I genuinely wanted to know why someone made the decisions that they made, right? Cause like to me growing up, like I would look around and I vividly remember looking at most of the world and being like, this doesn't make sense. Like how everyone is operating does not make sense to me, right? And when I would ask people about it, no one really seemed to have a good answer, right? Like it didn't seem like people had thought things through. And so I felt like, have you ever seen that clip of Elon Musk? And when he was like, and they asked about what's going on inside his brain and he's like, it doesn't shut off, right? And everyone said, that'd be so cool. He's like, you do not want my brain.
Yeah.
Right. I felt like kind of like that, not nearly to that extreme, but I'm like, my brain was just on all the time. And it was constantly thinking about the fact that like I was broke and like I didn't like where I was at and I was going to do anything to change my life. And everybody else around in me in life was just like, oh, we're just going to go through life hunky dory. And I'm like, you don't have a plan. You don't like that. And so what was interesting is when I genuinely took an interest, like you were talking about, right? Where it was like, help me really understand you. It was so fascinating because I realized that people just valued things and made decisions fundamentally different than I did. However, at a core level, like we all wanted basically the same thing. We wanted to be loved. We wanted to be understood. We wanted to be seen. We wanted to be appreciated. And it was like, we had such different ways of going about doing that. That makes sense? It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess you two have something in common. You are good with people. You have a charisma. The same impression that, no, I didn't hate Josh at the first time. but I don't say hate. No, I don't say hate. I don't like it. Yeah.
You didn't like me?
No, I know. Yes, but but I found the same attraction to you when you start talking to me and and you ask me things and I answer and you was listening.
Yeah.
I said, oh, this is a good people. I want to be around people who listen.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around people who, just have a pitch. Because this is not about pitch.
Yeah.
And that's it. No, you actually listen. And that was for me that raised my interest.
Yeah.
Who is this person? You know what? Two things affected me massively. Two things. One was when I lost my dad 10 years ago. May he rest in peace. That changed so much. Like I became numb. I don't have time for BS anymore.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like I just, we live, it's so short. Life is so short. I just want to be surrounded with people who sincerely care. We're genuine. Like tell me how you feel. Like if you don't like something, just tell me.
Yeah.
Right. And the second thing is the pandemic. The pandemic for us, for my family, for me personally, and for my family, was a huge blessing. I know that I feel terrible for people who lost their loved ones,
sure.
of course. But for me, it was amazing to be able to connect with them. And I wanted more of that. I wanted to be in control. I wanted to just spend more time with my family.
Yeah.
Do whatever I wanted. So.
Yeah. So let's pick up there because it was 4 years ago was the pandemic, right? So this is where this started to take off and started to happen, right?
Correct.
Okay. So one of the things that you said was you wanted to flip the job market upside down, essentially, right? To where rather than, all the employers chasing one or two jobs, it was you want the employers chasing you, right?
Correct.
Lots of options.
Okay. So one of the things that I found in entrepreneurship, in money, and in success and whatever is most people don't even know that the world that I live in exists. I didn't know it existed. I didn't even know it was a thing, right? Like I remember, a mentor of mine, he wasn't a mentor at the time when he first told me this, but he goes, it's easier to make $100,000 in a day, or it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. And I'm like, I don't believe you, right? Cause I'm like, that's so backwards. And so entering into this world, it's like people don't even realize that that is a thing. They don't understand how money works. They don't understand that there's different bubbles in different markets and all these different things. Do you find that that's similar in the job market as well? Like in the sense of like, when you tell people, hey, you can have a bunch of highly, like really good companies chasing after you. Do they go, I don't believe you? Like, are they skeptical of that? They don't even realize it exists? Or does everybody know this is a thing?
They don't get it because it's complex. The job search is quite complex. Things are complex, right? We've been saying over the last few days that there's some things that are very simple that work. We've seen it with young kids.
Yep.
They get it. Like they're 15 years old and they're making $150,000 in a,
right?
That's crazy. The job search market, people have believed the exact same thing for so long that they believe that that's the only option.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we challenge them, but we show them why, like what we do differently and why we think differently, and we show them results from others that they can relate to, they are like, has to be true. Like people come to me and they tell me, there's no way that you could have faked 125 recommendations on LinkedIn. I understand that you could have faked 1 or 2 or 5, but not 125. That's a lot of people talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm like, because it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
I think that, what is in media, people listen to different sources and different coaches. And many of them, and even the media, they talk about that the job search is broken. And just people take that as they blame that kind of articles. And they believe that because it's easy for them to say, oh, I'm not finding, I cannot switch jobs because, the job market is broken. It's broken.
Yep.
Right? So, and we said, no, it's not broken. It's not broken.
Yeah.
The thing is, you don't understand the rules.
Right.
And we have an analogy.
You don't understand the rules. Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
We have an analogy. It's like when you can join a tournament of chess and you can play the roll.
The
pawn, the rook, the bishop.
in different directions.
Yep.
Right? What is going to happen?
But if you play them wrong, right? Like, let's say that you move the rook, I don't know, diagonally, like, they're going to kick you out of the tournament.
Yep.
Right? Because you don't understand the rules.
Yep.
Same thing happens with the job search.
But the question is the chess broken?
No, chess isn't broken.
You don't understand the rules.
You don't understand the rules. So
I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know anything about the job market, right? I have had two jobs in my life and really only one real job.
How blessed.
Like, but I'm a crazy man, right? Like I get it, right? Like I'm the guy that's out there, 18 hours a day for 3 straight years trying to, make something happen, sleeping on my buddy's couch, right? Like literally like to save the $500 in rent, right? So like I get it. So I don't know much about the job market, but I do for the last decade of my life, I've studied psychology and human behavior and, sales and all the different things. And that was a really good analogy with the broken rules. I have found that one of the hardest things to do though is to make someone actually believe that the opportunity that exists is as simple as it is once they understand that it exists, right? So for example, actually you guys are the perfect example, right? So you come to me, right? And we sit down. And what did I ask you? I was like, how much is your offer? And what did you tell me?
$2,000.
$2,000. And I'm like, why the heck are you selling it for $2,000? And what'd you say?
I don't know.
That's exactly right.
I don't know.
You go, I don't know. Ever selling it for $2,000.
This is our ticket. Yeah.
I go, so why aren't you selling it for $25,000? And you go, I don't know. Right. And it was like, oh, okay. You didn't know that existed. Right now, you guys were easy because you were in the room and shout out to Russell Brunson for creating the environments for people like us to, come and learn. But like, I run into this a lot. I go, okay, why are you selling your services for X number of dollars? And they go, I don't know, because that's what everybody else is. I guess. And I go, so why don't you do it for this? And it breaks people's brains that they can go and they could make so much more money in a short period of time. Right. And it's like most of my job as in sales and as a coach, by the way, I mean, you guys know this, right? Most of my is just reinforcing the belief that this is possible because the actual steps about going and doing this, not that complicated, right? Really not that hard. Is that the same way with you? Because it seems like it would be, from what you guys are saying, that the big issue right now for you guys, or not the big issue, but like the belief thing that you guys are battling is like when you're dealing with people and you go, hey, you want to get a better job? And they're like, oh man, I'd love a better job, but that's not possible. The job market's broken or it's saturated or no one's paying, no one's hiring, no one will pay that amount of money. And you go, what if you had all the top employers all chasing after you and making you offers? And they look at you and they go, no way. Is that how it happens?
Correct.
So how do you
exactly.
So break down the problems that they are facing because they cannot even understand what they are going through. When they reach out with believing that their story is special. No, my story is special because I don't know, whatever it is, right? Like my story because I moved from here to there. I don't have this. I have this other thing, too much experience, too little, whatever the reason is. So it's very simple, very simple. Let me ask you a question. What are you struggling with right now? You've been job searching for a while, right? Yeah. What are you struggling with? Are you starting to land the interviews? Or you're trying to convert them into job offers, meaning that you're landing the interviews and you're just not getting the job offer. Or maybe you're struggling to negotiate and obtain the job conditions that you're looking for, right? They're not offering you as much as you believe you should be compensated for. I don't know. I'm starting to land the interviews. I am applying to, let's say, 500 jobs, no interviews. Or I'm landing the interviews that I don't want. Or I've had 30 interviews, 0 job offers. So, okay, then we need to fix that problem.
But before they even get to that point though.
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking for a job, right?
Yeah.
So I make $150,000 in tech. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
150,000 and above.
Okay. So I make $175,000. I make $175,000. I'm in tech, and I'm a manager or whatever. Whatever it is, right? And I come to you and I go, man, job market, man, it's tough out there. Elon Musk, man, he just laid off, got rid of like 6,000 employees at X, and all these tech companies are laying people off like left and right now because all this, and it's a rough market out there, man. It's a rough market, right? And I come to you and you tell me what? You say, hey,
you can land up to 25 interviews per week if you wanted to. If you really know how to navigate this, you can.
So I can get 25 interviews a week.
Yeah. As long as, and maybe this is something that I can read your mind. I think that
yeah.
There's a big problem that a lot of professionals, the vast majority of professionals have, which is they don't even know what they want.
Okay.
Yes.
So I knew that you wanted
let's get to that.
That's the point.
Well, let me finish the thought here. Okay. Yeah. Hey, so I come to you, you say, hey, listen, the job market, actually, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not fine if you don't know what you're doing. But like, Josh, if you're saying to me, Josh, you're good. You're good at what you do, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course, I'm awesome, right? Because that's what we all think we're great. And then you go, cool. So we can help you get lots and lots of tech people interested in hiring you and making you job offers, like to where you have your pick of your dream job with your dream terms. And I go, I don't believe you. How do you make me believe that? Like, why does your thing, like, why is what you're saying true? Because I believe it's not true. So why is it true? To convince me that that's actually a thing.
So our approach, I believe in first and giving. I cannot expect anything from you without giving you first.
Okay.
I need to educate you. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah, right.
So why don't you listen to me?
Mhm.
You can look at my LinkedIn profile. You can see how many people I've mentored, professionals, just like you.
Yep. So you've got status.
Why don't I share with you the strategy that they have followed, literally the exact same strategy, and then you decide whether you want or need more guidance.
Okay.
And we can go from there.
Okay.
So when they ask me, so how much in this? Wait a second. Let's say that I was selling, let's say that I was selling dark chocolate.
Okay.
And you don't like dark chocolate. Does it matter whether it's $1 or $1 million? It doesn't matter because you like dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Let me show you my chocolate and let's see if it resonates with you. And then we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay. And then everybody comes out of I'm not kidding you. I'm literally saying everybody. They come out of this masterclass and they say, I am overwhelmed because it's complex. However, now I'm motivated because now I understand what I didn't understand before. Now I understand that whatever the media is selling me
is a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah. Negative sells, right?
Yep. So I'll ask you this one. Why would an employer offer me, if I'm making $175,000 now, right? And there are hundreds of people just like me. There are, right? Because there's lots of people just like me on paper, right?
Yeah.
Why would an employer, much less 10 employers, offer me $250,000 or $300,000 with better terms than I'm at now when they can go get someone else who on paper, right? They can get someone else for $200,000 and worse terms. Why would they offer me $300,000?
First of all, before you answer, I love the fact that you asked that question.
Yeah, but that's the question I'm trying to get at, right? Because I think that the average person doesn't understand, like they don't understand why someone would do that.
Well, no.
If you,
hold on,
wait. The thing is that they don't even ask themselves that question. They don't even know. Like that doesn't even cross their minds.
No, I understand, but
yeah.
they can't articulate that.
Yeah.
But like, if you were to actually drill down, that's probably what they're thinking, right? So what would you say to that?
yeah, because this is what everybody is doing, right? Everybody's applying to jobs the same way. Everything that the people is doing is what is in the public media, right?
Yep.
Everybody doing the same. So you don't have anything different to be, to stand out from the crowd. So what we teach them is what make you, Josh, and you, Brian, to stand out from the crowd. The same thing that be interview, totally different. Like a reverse. Like the way people answer, tell me a little bit about you. Everybody answered the same way.
Yeah.
So boring. We don't teach, we teach a different way to answer that question. So when you are
Okay.
Yeah.
Play,
Yeah.
We're going to do this right now. Okay. So who should I ask? Should I ask you?
No. Brian actually is the natural interview.
But that's kind of why I want to ask you instead.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you answer the question?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I'm about to hire you, or I'm interested in hiring you. We're in an interview and I go, all right, Herman, tell me a little bit about you.
Let's say we are applying to a senior software engineer.
Senior software engineer.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah.
At a large software company. Senior software engineer.
I've never seen him do this, by the way.
This is great. This is
I never having done this.
He's never gone through the training
No.
So let's see what he knows.
This is great.
Okay?
Clearly you're the one that I should
This is the person.
This is fun.
But I like that you asked me to,
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun.
Senior software
Let's make it fun.
Software company. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I said is, when you ask me, tell me more about you,
Yeah.
I'm going to say, programming for me was something that I found in my way by coincidence. Right now, people is intrigued, right?
Okay. Yeah.
By coincidence. That happened, 20 years ago. I'm just telling them that I have a lot of experience, right? And people start like, what are you going storytelling.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
In the best format.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that happened. What happened to me was I was working in marketing. I actually have a degree in marketing, but this is the truth.
A low key flex right there.
Yeah.
That is right there. Let's go. All right.
So people what is going in marketing is doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Most of the people, what he's doing is they take the resume and they basically articulate whatever is in the resume.
Yep.
Nothing, like I have a degree in computer science and I graduated at this university or whatever. It's like a normal people answer.
Yeah, the sound effect.
Yeah.
Boring. Totally boring.
Yeah.
So when you leverage the storytelling, that we teach, we have a framework for everything.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, and that the beauty of the frameworks is that frameworks are, you can custom to your own life.
Yep.
Because this is not about an interview for a job. It's an interview between two human beings.
Yep.
Right. That's different.
Yep.
We teach them how to be a human being.
Yep.
Okay. With all the moments that you have issues, problems,
Yep.
and how to explain those and how you overcome.
Yeah.
So storytelling is what we teach. It's simple, but the framework, the order that you organize your thoughts is different.
Well, let me add, for that particular question, right? Here's the important thing to keep in mind. When you are being asked, which is the very first question that they will ask you during the interview.
About yourself.
When you tell me a bit about yourself, the vast majority of people, they freeze. They have no idea, or they want to get through that question as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I promise you that the person who asked you the question is still thinking, did I pay the wireless bill this month? Like, do I need to pick up my kid from daycare? They're not even paying attention to you. So you spend 30, 45 seconds. They have yet to start paying attention to you. And now you're done. You didn't stand out.
Yeah.
You didn't build a rapport. There's nothing in common between you.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I'll ask you the question.
I knew that it was coming back.
Yeah. Of course, bro. I want to know this, right? If you're the master. So I'm applying, or you're applying to be a senior software engineer at a large software company, right? I don't know. We've got 500 employees. Is that a large company? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not. But
okay. 3,000 employees. Is that better?
Sure.
All right, cool. This shows how much I know about this, right? So, but I'm hiring you because, I run this company. All right. So tell me a little about yourself, Brian.
So I said it like this. I'm pretty sure that you can tell that I have an accent. And I laugh.
I can.
Fake
Yes,
laugh,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that you can tell that I have an accent.
Yeah.
And I laugh, right? So I was born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Hmm.
I'm not kidding you. So let me tell you the different parts, right? They go like, Argentina. Oh my God, I love Argentinian wine, or Messi, the soccer player, dulce de leche, whatever, something.
Yeah.
Right at that moment, they interrupted me already. I'm no longer continuing with my story. Now we have something in common. You like wine? Let's talk about wine.
We're looking for commonalities. Okay.
We are looking for something in common. Why? Because people hire those that they like and they trust. When we have something in common, we belong to the same group. The essence of this, what we teach them about that particular story is, remember back in the day when we were in school and in, let's say, gym class, they asked two captains, right? Choose your teammates for your, whatever it is, sport. Who did they choose? Did they choose the best athletes or did they choose their best friends?
Yeah, this is the best.
The best friends. We still do the exact same thing today. We choose those that we like and trust.
Yeah.
And in fact, the employer, the interviewer, makes your life significantly easier during the interview when they like you.
Yeah.
They help you get through. Let me help you. Let me know. I worked for a large bank recently. $300,000 a year. Okay. I kid you not. My 6-year-old could have answered the questions that I was asked.
Really?
Why? Because my manager didn't want me to fail. Why? Because we connected like this. But you have to connect at the very beginning, even before you're being asked that question. Connect on a personal level right away. Take control of that interview. It's your interview. You interview them.
Yeah.
Don't let them interview you.
So what do you say to the person that's more of an introvert, right? Someone that's like, they're not, I mean, dude, it's easy for people like me and you, right?
Most people in
more
tech
of an
are
introvert?
actually.
Yeah, I'm introvert.
Yeah.
I'm introvert for sure.
Yeah.
Coders,
Tech,
they don't want
tech.
to, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to be, front facing or whatever. So, you're shy, you're a little bit more introverted, you're soft spoken maybe a little bit, you're a little bit more hesitant, you're not good with, words, right? And maybe not quick on your feet, on things. What would you say to that person?
You need to understand how to navigate.
Okay. Navigation.
Yeah. Listen, anything that I don't know how to do will make me feel anxious, right?
Okay.
If I want to go from point A to point B, let's say from Toronto to Miami.
Yeah.
Right? Driving.
Yeah.
I mean, it can take me forever. I'm going to take bad turns unless I have a GPS. If I have a GPS or Tesla road planner,
Yeah.
I know exactly which supercharger I need to go to.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Elon, baby.
I will know exactly, like I will not be panicking.
Yeah.
I will know exactly where to leave the road to be able to supercharge, how long it's going to take me. I will know absolutely everything. I know exactly which minute I will be arriving in Miami.
Yeah.
So the challenge that people have is that they don't know how to navigate an interview. They don't know what to expect. They haven't found patterns. They don't know how to stand out, like Herman was saying.
Yeah.
They don't know how to stand out from everybody else. So if you want to stop being compared to everyone else, and why your method, my method, or our method works, because how do you get more money? How do we get more money?
Yeah.
They cannot compare us to anybody else.
Yeah.
While everybody's teaching what can be found on the internet.
Yeah.
We're like, you're not going to find our stuff absolutely anywhere on the internet.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point too, because like we go to masterminds, we're at a mastermind now, right? And you listen to a lot of, generic advice and even speakers, right? Masterminds and events that you go to, you hear things and you look around the room, you're like, okay, 500 other people or 1,000 other people or 5,000 other people are hearing the exact same advice that I'm hearing right now. So like already, like I might have a competitive edge in the market with this, but like compared to everybody else in this room, like we all heard the same stuff, right? Like you actually do have to be different, right? And if you can figure out a way to stand out and be different, that's clearly key. And I would argue too, or not argue, I would say too, as someone who, I coach a lot of people too, right? And I think that leaning into your superpower, like leaning into who you are, is the best thing that you can do. So like for me, I am just an over the top person, right? I'm like outspoken, bold, not afraid of controversy, loud, like, and I don't know any other way. And I have tried to like, okay, let's button it up. Let me put a suit on, right? Let me quiet down a little bit, right? Let me say everything correctly. And it's like, oh my gosh, I want to pound my head through, I'm going to die, right? Like it just sucked. And it was like, I wasn't effective, even though I did what I was supposed to do according to on paper, right? But on the flip side of that, like if you're an introvert, right? Like wouldn't you, it would seem like the best thing to do would be to lean into that, not to be quiet, but like to own the fact that you are who you are, right? And then understand, like you said, was it not the principles? What'd you call it? The frameworks. But you said you have to know how to navigate. You got to know how to navigate the conversation, right? If you could understand the framework to navigate the conversation, then you could literally lean into the fact that you are an introvert, lean into the fact that you're a little shy, as long as you know how to navigate the conversation. Would you agree?
100%.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah. Okay. That's so interesting. Give me a recap of results. Like how many people have you guys helped? What are some of the results that you guys have been able to get for your clients?
Wait.
Okay.
I just want to say one thing because I get very little sleep.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say this.
Yeah.
It's really important, I think.
Yes.
The key to understand that you need to how to stand out is that there are certain things. You reminded me of this. Whatever is on paper, you cannot change, right? Your knowledge, skills, experience, and expertise. For anybody listening who's looking to switch jobs, you cannot change any of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You graduated from wherever or didn't graduate. Yes. You have the skills in this development language or not, or certification. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. You cannot change that when you're looking to switch jobs. Okay. You can take another thing, watch another video, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The big question is, what can you bring to the table that is so different that the employer will be like, oh my God, finally I'm meeting a human being that I connected with, because all these other robots, I can find them day in and day out. If I want to find another robot, I know exactly where to find them, which is literally everywhere. But you, Josh, oh my God, I need to give you the job offer right now. Yeah. You don't want them to put you, I was speaking to someone earlier today, Jennifer, 6 interviews for someone to decide not to hire her. 6 interviews. I was like, you are doing yourself a disservice. Yeah. The fact that they couldn't see your value in round 1 is bad on them, and it's also bad on you.
Yeah.
It's on you. Own it.
Yeah.
Learn how to show up in a different way so that they're like, we cannot lose you. We cannot afford to lose you because otherwise our competitor will hire you.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But
okay.
Yeah, I want to add something to that.
Yeah.
Why the interview is the first question. Why the interview? Why the interview exists? Right? If everybody is the same in the paper,
right.
You know?
Interesting.
Why an interview? Why an interview? You have to figure out the interview is not to check for your qualifications. It's not for that. Because the resume is doing that job. So if you think deeper, is because people want to see your skills, how you relate with me, how you speak, how you how you think, something that is not, you cannot do in paper.
Yeah.
And what are you, the way you build relationships, because you are going to be working with a team.
Yeah.
So you know how you cover reframing, right? Reframing. So it's called interview, but really, if you think about it, you're not coming in. You should not allow anyone to be interviewing you, because it feels like you're being intimidated. You are being interrogated. Like if you were in front of the FBI and the CIA at the same time, like nobody enjoys that experience. Not us as candidates, and not the interviewer. Like people want to connect and they want it to be memorable. The question is, can you add the ingredients to make that happen?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then it will be an interview.
Do you think that, the people that are doing the interview, like, they're not always the best. Like, they don't always know what they're doing either.
No. Not that they, that's an amazing point.
That's great. That's good.
It's not that they don't know. This is messed up, what I'm going to tell you. HR has never taken it upon themselves to train those who are interviewing to interview effectively. So people show up with zero skills to interview. And they're basically going off like, well, I've been treated so poorly, so I'm going to actually treat you that way. Those are the toxic ones. And the ones who have been treated poorly, and they're like, I don't want you to have that kind of experience. I will treat you nicely. But if you don't know how to take control and how to steer the interview or the conversation in a direction that is beneficial to you, because most people don't want to talk about certain things. Yeah. So if you allow the conversation to go into a certain area that is not beneficial to you, you get effed.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't want that to happen.
Yeah. Ah, that's so interesting. Okay. So I think that in a world of the internet, right, where everything is fake or could be fake, the one of the surest ways to know someone is legit or not is show me the proof, right? Results. I mean, in everything that I do and I teach, whenever someone's like, oh, what can you oh, I claim to do this. I'm like, no. I don't claim to do this. Just go look. Just go, like, I will give you a phone number or the contact information of any single one of my clients, right? And just go talk to them, right? And that's proof. And I know you guys have proof, but like, fill me in on that. Like, what are the results that you guys have gotten? So that someone knows if someone's watching this interview right now and they're, like, oh man, maybe I should listen to you guys. Maybe I shouldn't. There's a lot of people teaching you how to do an interview, right? Or how to get their better job. What are your guys' results?
More than 1,000.
More than 1,000 professionals already coached by us.
Couple of years.
And something that you cannot fake in LinkedIn is that in your recommendations, if you click the link, you have access to that person, right? So you can talk with them. So
you've coached 1,000 people.
More than 1,000. More than 1,000 senior tech professionals over the last couple of years.
Wow.
Successfully. And then if you want to talk about tangibly, what is it that they were able to achieve? Yeah. I'll tell you, for example, give you a case. John Benjamin. This information, they're happy to share this with me.
Yeah.
He was interviewing for a job. It's so crazy that he wasn't even interested in. But because I was like, you just learned this in 2 weeks, right? Yeah. You learned this. Go and practice with a company that you don't care for, right? You're not interested in it. Just go and practice your skills. So when you get interviewed by a company that you care for, then you nail it.
Yeah.
He goes into the interview. The salary range, he knew what it was, 100 to 140K. He walks away with 275K plus $800,000 in stock options in a company that, when he claimed, would go public in 3 to 4 years' time, those $800,000 would be worth about $10 million. Say a big caveat for the average person. The average person doesn't get those kinds of crazy results.
I understand.
But they do get a 50, 75, 100% salary increase.
Yes.
And and most importantly, the job conditions that they want. You want to work remote? Yeah, sure. The vast majority of companies are actually forcing people to go back in, but it's not every single company.
Yep.
And you don't need every single company to give you a job offer. Well, you want the fuel to be able to negotiate and demand the job conditions that you want and select the best one for you.
Yep.
You don't want 100,000. Like the other day, front-end developer or full-stack developer was telling me, well, the job market, I was like, let's be logical. Let's go on LinkedIn Jobs, just one platform out of the 100 plus that there are out there. Let's see how many full-stack developer roles there are out there. And we looked both in Canada and the United States. 52,000 jobs at this very moment. So you can't tell me that there are no jobs. And we teach the ones who are in Canada to take the jobs from the ones in the US.
Okay, isn't it so interesting though? Like, I know you guys are in Canada, so maybe the politics are a little bit different there. I mean, although I think it's worse. You communist country, you guys. I'm just kidding. But like in America, it's like everyone's like, no, you can't find jobs. And then every business owner I talk to, their number one issue is you can't find people. Right? It's like the number one thing that people have is like, can't find good people, right? I'm like, it's so crazy.
Well, you just changed though. See what you just did. Can't find people. And then you say, can't find good people.
Okay, that's fair.
So?
Yeah.
It's a way that they actually present themselves.
Yeah.
Sure, to hire another role. Oh my God. Like I'll put you through so many rounds because I don't believe in you.
Yeah.
But when you truly connect, it's like, oh my God, someone else is going to hire this person.
Yeah.
I need to hire Josh.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Can we shift gears a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I want to shift gears into you guys as entrepreneurs in business, right? You guys have been in business for 4 years now?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 years.
Together 4 years.
4 years. Okay. So 4 years of business, business partnerships, they can go very well or they can blow up, right?
Mhm.
You've been in business 4 years. What have been some of the biggest, you've been together 4 years, guys. Congratulations. Like, what have been, some of the biggest learning things that you guys have learned growing together, like as a team, right? Like with two people.
100% trust. That's the first
That's
thing.
exactly what
That's for me is all. You know, in the beginning of in the first years, probably year and a half, 2 years, we start making money, and we didn't was organizing we didn't have a bank account. So all the money was going to his bank account. So yeah, that's the kind of trust that I'm talking about, is that kind of trust, right? That you can close your eyes and you know that you are with a person with your same values. Yeah. Values are so important. Yeah. And that's the first thing. And one of them is trust. Yeah. That's for me the main one.
Yeah. Trusting in it. Yeah.
Well, I want to share something briefly, just so that you know how much it meant to us, because the average person will tell you need to get, by the way, we're not here to fight the traditional method with regards to building a structure around a company. Like, we totally see that there's some value in having things properly organized. Yeah. Of course. We just had a different story ourselves, and we don't encourage everybody to just do things so messy.
No, I understand. Okay? Right.
But for us, when we went a couple of years ago to the bank, and I had to explain to the teller, I was like, look, I need a $60,000 check. He's also a client from this bank, but we just need a check for a bank draft. You go outside and do a video and then can bring it back in. Yeah. It's like, what? I was like, I'll explain to you later. But basically, we recorded that moment because that moment to us signified so much. It was that trust. Yeah. One day I was like, why are you leaving all the money on my side? Yeah. Take your money, like go pay your bills, do whatever it is. Yeah. But it meant so much. Yeah. And then, of course, now we have structure and everything.
Yeah. And the reason why we start this way is because I believe that we have first to have a business. Many people go open, a bank account and they don't have any business. So let's make the money first. And so after that, we can care about the money, right?
Like, oh my God, dude. It's so like
they were so much about everything, the equity and this and that.
Everything.
They don't even like to work together. I saw someone on LinkedIn who literally a couple of months later, after she started and announced to the world that she was working with this other chick. Sorry, we went different direction. Like, you made this whole big thing. No, we realized that after a couple of years, we love working together. Yeah. And we are Latin. Latin people are very passionate about that
was like dating for 2 years.
Americans, and we're not passionate at all either. Well,
I tell you, can I tell my biggest lesson learned?
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody else makes this. When you pay someone, since we're here at Mastermind, Russell Brand, when you pay someone, just like we paid you, when you pay someone to teach you something, just do what that person is telling you. Because otherwise, if you're going to do it your own way, you may as well not pay anyone. Yeah. So my biggest mistake that I own is that I actually didn't listen. I didn't actually own it. I didn't obsess so much with what I was being taught. And this is why it slowed us down, because I was doing things my way. And then one day I was like, Herman, listen, I don't think this ClickFunnels thing, by the way, I don't mean this. Okay. But I was like, we're not getting the results that we were aspiring for, that we were hoping for. And Herman goes like, well, you've never done anything that Russell says.
I like it. Yeah. I was like, no kidding, dude. Like,
I was like, what do you mean? I do. He's like, Russell says to do it one way and you always do it a completely different way. I was like, are you sure what you're saying? He's like, 100%. I was like, you know what? I'll give you the keys. And then now the problem becomes on the other side. It gets to the other side. I give you the keys. I didn't want to lose him as a partner. Yep. I wanted to continue. I was like, I give you the keys. I will just do what you tell me to do. Here's the second part of the problem. Second part of the problem is that he started to tell me what to do. but know why I was doing it. And why is this? Because someone, I'm not going to say names, but someone told me that there are two kinds of people. People who ask why and people who ask how. And people who ask why, they get in front of themselves and they never advance because they're always asking why. I was like, I don't want to be that person. I just want to get stuff done. The problem is, and you may remember this, there was a speaker at the previous mastermind or at FHL in Orlando, the army guy, military guy.
Yeah. The guy, the author of the Extreme Leadership book.
Yeah. Jocko.
Yeah.
Jocko.
He said, when you send people into combat, you need to tell them why they are going into that second or third floor and they have to custody that area, because otherwise they don't know how to navigate if anything changes. So I didn't have the context. I didn't have the why. So I started the problem. He continued the problem. And then we realized, oh my God, we need to be on the same page. We need to understand why we're doing what we're doing, and what we're doing. We need to follow somebody else.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, where are we at? When it comes to business, what's been the biggest struggle or the biggest problem that you guys have overcome and figured out up until this point?
The biggest.
I know.
Which one? Which one?
We share everything. So
okay, go ahead.
We revamped our business completely.
Oh, yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So this is honestly business 101, I think, or entrepreneurial stuff 101. It's like serve those who will help you operate your business and not go bankrupt.
Yeah.
So if you're serving the wrong people, the people who don't, the non-affluent people, who cannot make decisions, who are not, I mean, they need you, but they cannot make those decisions and you cannot pay your bills, then both are going to suffer. The world is going to suffer because you're not going to be there to serve anybody else because you're going to drown. So a couple of masterminds ago in Boise, I asked Russell, I stood up, I went to the microphone, I was like, hey, we have this situation. We are serving two kinds of professionals.
Yeah.
Those who are employed and those who are unemployed.
Yeah.
And 80% of our revenues were coming from those who are unemployed.
Really?
It was. Now 80% of our revenues are coming from those who are employed. Those who are employed can take a chance on themselves so much more easily because there's another paycheck coming in 2 weeks. Right? So what do we have to do?
Like sell to rich people? Or not rich people, but sell to people with money?
Yeah, sell to people with money.
Yeah.
People who have no money, they cannot make the decision.
And get paid.
Yeah, get paid.
Yeah.
You should get paid.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That was huge. So we spent 6 months revamping this. And now we have heart. We don't want to forget about those who cannot afford us.
Oh, yeah.
We've made it even more accessible for them. Different service, different product, right?
Yep.
Cannot sell to two different groups of people and sell to one more than the other.
Right. They're different.
But we are focusing on senior tech professionals who are employed, who are making 150K and above.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones who allow us to continue to operate and to also on the side serve others.
And also because unemployed people has the time and don't have the money or have a financial constraint with the money because they don't know what is going to happen.
I think that right there is probably one of the biggest.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know. You're in the program, like one of my favorite quotes of all time, solve the problems of the rich and they will make you one of them, right? Rich people rich people problems, rich people prices, right? And it's like, if you focus on and double down on people that have, like, value isn't determined by us. It's determined by the buyer, right? And so one service applied to one person versus the same exact service applied to a different person, two different values, right? And if you get the customer right and you solve a problem to someone with money that is able to pay that, you will make money. They will be happy. Everybody wins. And it's huge takeaway. Yeah, for sure. That's good.
And you play a good role in that decision too, because you help us to, get to the price that can be paid for these people.
Yeah.
And also something that is important, instead to we, only raise the price and put more stuff there, we reduce the stuff.
Yeah.
Like we learn from you, put less, but more concrete and more easy for them.
Yes.
Yep. Whatever you need to do internally, you do it.
Yeah.
But for them, it has to be simple.
Yep.
Right. And thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was amazing.
I appreciate it. And you guys did the work. So well done and actually taking action. What were the results from that? So you came into the program, give people a little bit of context on that. You came into the program with one offer. We helped revamp the offer, right? And then help you go sell it for lots more. So what were the results that you guys got? What did that process look like?
The number that I do remember, because it's been a few months now, but the number that I remember, it was the first 29 days, $117,000, which is insane compared to any previous month that we ever had.
$117,000.
29
days. 29 days. Crazy.
And less sales, so less people you have to serve.
Yeah.
And significant, like 4 times, 5 times the revenues.
Yeah.
Back then, many months ago.
Yeah. And less delivery. I mean, no less spending for delivery.
Yeah.
Right? No less value delivery. No, the value is high, but less work for us to deliver.
Yeah. Okay.
That was an optimization of our business.
And I think that every entrepreneur goes through that stage, right? Where you reach a point and then you like discover something and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to revamp everything to align with this new thing that I've done, right? And discovered and learned.
The crazy thing for anybody who's listening, considering to potentially work with you is that the higher your prices, because we learned this from Russell in the beginning, the race, the ladder is not down, because otherwise you will always be competing on price. The ladder goes up. You want to be the highest.
Yeah.
But you also have to deliver, right? Like you have to surpass the expectations, go above and beyond the perceived value. But the crazy thing is that when you increase your pricing, you become significantly more attractive.
Yep.
As opposed to like, oh, well, this person is willing to, it's $50 less. Well, go with that person. Like, I'm here. I'm a completely different league, in these prices.
Yep.
Do you want to really stand out and have results that nobody else has? Then what you do is proof of that. What we do is proof of that.
Did we deliver? Did I
100%.
Did we deliver expectations?
No, you went above and beyond.
Above and beyond. That's good to hear.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's
above
good
and beyond. And your professionalism and your passion and I'm not just saying it, I truly mean it. The clarity with which you explain, like I'll tell you this, and please don't go and ask Josh for this one thing, but there's just one video that is 1 hour and 3 minutes. That one video paid for the entire program. So I'm not going to say, I'm not going to give it away, but for anyone, how can one lesson be worth more than the entire program?
Yeah.
So imagine the rest.
What was your biggest takeaway from going through the Gold Mike method and everything that we taught, or that I taught you? Yeah.
For my side was the optimization of the offer.
The communication of the offer?
The communication, absolutely. The communication too, because I guess that's one of your skills. And communication, optimization of the offer, and the pricing thing. You help us to take take us to the next level.
Yeah.
And say, we can go for this amount.
Yeah.
And believe in us.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel it. I say, okay, let's go. Let's do what Josh said. Now is the new hashtag.
I'll leave that. I don't know if I want to say that for Russell. I'm at this event right now. All right. We can't get in too much trouble.
Yeah.
Hashtag do a job. Can you imagine, dude?
Get paid. No, get paid.
No. Can you imagine if we got a bunch of shirts and we said hashtag do what Josh says, and then we gave them out to everybody at Russell's event? Oh my gosh. Russell, I'm coming for you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah.
No, but that was for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's the confidence in the ability to sell. At the end of the day, we're here to sell, but for anybody listening, don't take it the wrong way or out of context. Selling is the ability to be able to serve someone else, right?
Yep.
If I cannot sell to someone, I cannot serve that person.
Yeah.
For me, I'll be completely honest, and we're working on this right now. We're working on removing myself from the sales process because it just doesn't come natural to me.
Yeah.
And Steve Jobs was never selling computers at the Apple store, right? Like I'm here to build awareness, to build relationships. My thing, as we were discussing in the beginning of this podcast, is about building trust, showing that I'm genuine, really making people feel special, and listening and understanding them, but not to talk about numbers. I do need to understand as a business person how to sell to these people to make sure that whoever is selling or closing, that they're not misleading them and promising something that is wrong, right? But for me to go through this process and to be able to feel confident in navigating, like I was saying about my mentees, how I help them navigate without anxiety, for me, it's like, and walk into a sales call, basically, I know exactly how to navigate it. And
Isn't it amazing?
Before it was just like all over the place. I had no idea how to navigate this.
It's amazing,
Now
right?
I have a structure, a framework.
And you bring every conversation back to that structure.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's so natural and it aligns with, it makes them feel crazy understood and it's powerful.
Yeah.
Right? It's so powerful. And, that's really, really cool. Yeah.
And people know what to expect. People want to know. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen from the
get-go.
From the get-go.
Yep.
And you're cool with that. Like, they buy into this process.
Yep. Psychology is so awesome. I love psychology so much. Guys, thank you for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. I want to do some rapid fire questions with you guys. But before we do into that, where can people find out more about you?
Where we
Where we
like to
send
send
them?
where we like to send them.
Where are we going to send them?
Or
Well,
invite them to.
well,
Well, LinkedIn. We'll link you on LinkedIn.
yes, exactly. The best way to start
Yep.
is going to LinkedIn, find for Brian Golod.
Yep.
And the last name is Golod. Most of the people.
Oh man, I was going to introduce you as Brian, the real top G. Cause like, I was like, I don't even know how to pronounce your last name. Dude. I just call you Brian G. But
Yeah.
My advice is reach out, say hi, introduce
LinkedIn.
yourself.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, just
Yep.
build a
Yep.
real meaningful relationship. Just open up. I'm here to serve you, to try to make a real difference in your life. So reach out, just human to human. I don't work with virtual assistants looking after my stuff. It's my account. I serve. I'm there to listen to every single person.
Yeah, we're going to be doing events there, live events. So
all right. So we'll link LinkedIn and your site down below. You guys ready for some rapid fire questions?
Absolutely.
All right. Rapid fire question number 1. We'll go both of you guys. What is one bucket list item that you have not yet done yet in your life that you want to do?
Well, you know,
well,
you want your dream. You have a dream yourself.
Yeah.
He has a dream.
okay, let's go through my dream. Okay, I am a super soccer fan. I'm passionate. I'm from Colombia. My blood is, soccer. So I'm going to be building a facility through North America. I already, what I did? Something that is important is visualize your dreams, right?
Yep.
So what I did was I hire a artist from Hollywood. Why an artist? Because a dream has to be, in the beginning I was thinking, okay, it could be an architect to design this facility, but an architect is too, I find an artist first, right? And they use the same software that they use to build, in the movies.
Yeah.
So the guy, is Spider-Man he has a lot of experience in doing that. So he take my vision, he put in a 3D model, and now that's my dream.
Amazing.
To go to that one. And that's, now for me, with my dream clear and my why, my own why, not the why. So that helped me to push this business up.
Yeah.
And continue every single day and don't give up.
Amazing.
That's the point. If every time I hesitating to do something, I always think, okay, that is where I want to reach.
Yep.
So that's my dream.
So important. Yep.
So, okay, I need to do this today, but this is a step to get there.
Amazing.
That's every single day.
Man, it's a way better bucket list than my bucket list. All right, go ahead.
My thing is, I just want to, and I truly mean this, I'm living my dream, honestly. The fact that I can actually choose what to do every single day. If you have the freedom to be
There's
here.
a bucket list. There's a bucket list item.
Like something crazy?
Yeah. I don't know, like skydive or smoke weed with Snoop Dogg or something. I don't know.
No, it would be to go to space.
Okay.
Go to space.
Okay. I like that. All right.
I love to see God's creation. I love to be able to appreciate something that very few
Then you can
have
tell all
been-
those flat earthers that it's actually round, right?
Yes,
'Cause-
absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Go to space. But at the end of the day, it's about making other people's
Jacob. All right.
making other people's lives better and all that. That's what I wake up for. But something crazy is go to space. Yeah. Like, didn't you want to be an astronaut when you were?
I did not want to be an astronaut,
you
but I would definitely go to space. After my daughter is often, married, whenever, when she's out of the house and it's just my wife and I, we'd go to space together. Yeah.
What is in your bucket list? What is it?
I've got lots of bucket lists. I want to interview Elon Musk. Yeah. That's,
You will.
for sure. No, that's
That's going to be soon.
I don't know about soon, but, we got some stuff to do first. I want like the thing about Elon, like someone like his caliber, like I want to interview Joe Rogan. I want to interview, Elon. I want to meet Trump. I don't know if I want to interview him. Like I have to meet him first. Cause I'm like, he'd be a hard person to interview, dude. he'd be a hard person to interview. You know what I'm saying? Like you sit down and you'd ask him one question and he'd talk for like 30 minutes about how amazing he is. And like, don't get me wrong, I love the dude. I'm gonna vote for him by all means. I'm like, he'd be a hard one to interview. But the thing with like someone like Elon is like, I don't want to interview him until I can provide real value to his life, right? Like I don't want him to be doing me a favor.
Yeah.
Right. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually want to I want to have something or do something or create something to where like he feels like he was almost like lucky. Right. And I definitely don't have something like that yet. Right. So I think when the time comes and presents itself, that's where we'll be at. But, yeah, so that's probably mine. Next question. What is one book you think every entrepreneur specifically should read?
Everything from Russell Brunson plus Alex Hormozy.
$1 million offers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a mix of many. It's not like
Pick one.
it's hard because
Pick one. It's not the only book they're going to read, just one that they should.
Expert Secrets.
for sure, Russell.
Expert Secrets. All right. We're at
Expert,
so that feels appropriate.
yeah, Expert Secrets. Expert Secrets is perfect.
Expert Secrets. Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that one.
All right. Last question. I'm going to start with you. No, I'll start with you. I'm going to start with you. You're at the end of your life.
What?
Yeah, you're at the end of your life. You're on your deathbed.
Okay.
And, every person you've touched and interacted with, they forget everything that you've ever told them, right? They don't remember anything, but you have to leave them with one final message that they will believe 100% and live out at face value. What's the message?
The message should be yourself. Be authentic, be yourself, and don't be scared to be yourself. Just be yourself.
All right. Be yourself. I like it.
For me, it would be something I wished for my daughter when we were pregnant of her, and we were taking this class at the hospital to prepare as first-time parents. We're going around the room, and I asked for her to be kind, because intelligence, being athletic, being successful, money-wise, and so on, to me means nothing if you're not a kind human being. So just be really kind.
Be kind.
Yeah.
Good. Well, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on. This is fun. And, yeah, everybody go check them out. With that, we're going to end it there. Bye.